Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2023 top 37 countdown. It's place number 9. It's Czechia, Vesna and My Sister's Crown. Please do click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell and like, share and comment below. As always, the link to the music video is in the description, as is the link to my blog site. So we have a new country at Eurovision this year. Or not exactly. It's actually a new name for an existing country. The EBU has finally adopted the Czechia name, moving from the original Czech Republic. That comes after a lot of other organisations have already moved to the Czechia name. Czechia has one of the shorter histories in the contest. Only Australia have fewer appearances among the current set of countries that are competing at the contest. Yet they've managed to get into my personal top 10 quite regularly, perhaps less regularly into the grand final itself. They've managed that 4 times. But there was a lot of early season buzz about My Sister's Crown. So can Vesna give Czechia their 5th appearance in the grand final? Vesna won the Czech national final at a canter. It was quite an odd national final. It had I think, budget, perhaps if I'm being kind, ramshackle if I was being less kind. One for the live performances, and then they had about a week of voting online and phone, most with 70% being international voting, and then a results show. Vesna are a sort of a 6-piece, all-female band founded in 2016 by Patricia Fuchsova, and it was done to celebrate femininity and Slavic sisterhood. And they perhaps get categorised in sort of the folk pop genre, but they don't necessarily see themselves as doing folk songs. And while My Sister's Crown has got some sort of ethnic folk feel to it, or instrumentation, it's a very modern song. The song is ostensibly a story kind of sisterhood, respect, support, and as a protest against gender inequality. It also has a very strong message of support for Ukraine. And while it's not overtly stated, the lyrics of the anthemic chorus are clearly intended as a message of support to Ukraine. And moreover, that chorus is sung in Ukrainian. We have other languages used in the song, English, of course, but also we have Czech and Bulgarian. The Bulgarian comes in a rap part of the song. So those 3 non-English languages comprise the 3 Slavic language family branches. West Slavic, which is Czech, South Slavic, represented by Bulgarian, and East Slavic, which of course is Ukrainian. I think this is a really compelling track with a strong message, or messages, behind it. It's far from a kind of generic paint-by-numbers entry, certainly not a safe choice from Czechia, but I respect it all the more for that. The music video is well worth a watch, and I think it gives a bit more context and feel to the story of the song. It's also a really good music video as well. I think that Ukrainian chorus is a real standout part for me of the song, especially the chorus that comes around the bridge. That has a making of a really dramatic moment on stage, and if presented right and they can pull off the harmonies, it could be really good. And I'm really intrigued to see what the staging will be like for this. Now, this is rode pretty high in fan polls, such as the Eurovision scoreboard app, right from the start, which I think does bode well for Vesna's chances, at the very least for qualification to the grand final. Countries like Czechia do often face a tougher struggle or a more uphill battle to qualify than some other countries. For example, some of the Scandinavian countries. So it's good that they've maintained the support, seemingly the fan support, despite the fact this was one of the very first entries chosen in the 2023 season. There have been a few concerns over live vocals in the pre-parties, but as we know, those kinds of venues are not necessarily always ideal on their sound. They often have lots of sound problems. Also, as I think was pointed out by, the lead singer of the Irish band of Wild Youth, they barely get any time to do any sound check, whereas normally you would get a much longer time to do sound checks and stuff, so you can't correct anything. For my part, when I saw them and heard them at London Eurovision, they sounded pretty good to me. I didn't think there were too many problems there. So I think to be honest, I think it's going to be how it all comes over on stage that's going to be key, and how it comes over on TV. They are favoured to qualify, but I still have a sneaking fear that of some of my favourites, this is the one that there is a chance of a shock non-qualification. It's one of those ones that it might be a non-qualification if the staging or the concept is messy. I'm thinking back to something like Foulon last year, which I love Foulon, which is France's song, so obviously they were in the grand final, but it just ended up being a bit of a hot mess on the actual Eurovision stage. So I'm really hoping that's not going to be the case with Czechia, and that we'll see something really impressive, because I really do want to see My Sister's Crown in the final. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and join me next time when I hope my hay fever will not cause me to cough in the middle of the video. But yes, we'll see you again soon. Take care.